Balance. Periwinkle. I must create before the opportunity disappears. Periwinkle is a small-town theater actor with big-time talent. An agent arrives in town and is quite impressed with young Periwinkle. She offers him a contract, and he drops everything that once mattered to him to be available for fame. Feeling sure that his big break is coming, he alienates his loved ones. He signs a contract with the agency, but there are no jobs. He is told he must wait for the right one. He learns that waiting for a dream is not as powerful as living a loving reality. This card may indicate a reluctance to change. You may be hesitating because of the past, but that doesn't mean you should be hasty. Weigh all sides before moving forward. This can mean the start of a relationship. Proceed slowly. Running toward something may chase it away. Be wary of being deceived by your own desires. Journey with Periwinkle. He tells you of the work he had to do to repair past mistakes. He says, "We all end up in the same place, so enjoy your journey." Sit with him. You will know when it is time to come back. You have attracted this card into your world today as a sign that it's time to get grounded. You may have been feeling a little scattered with your thoughts and feelings and finding it difficult to focus and concentrate. Maybe you're feeling stressed and busy due to the many demands on you and are finding it difficult to create and manifest positive outcomes and experiences in your life. No, you are not alone. This is a very common feeling, and it is easy to get caught up in the whirlwind and craziness that surrounds you. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for you, and the best thing for you right now is to get centered and grounded. The most powerful way to do this is to align with and reconnect to the beautiful Mother Earth. You are encouraged to take some time in nature, connecting and receiving the abundance of energy and magic she has to share. This is the best medicine for your soul right now. You may like to spend some time at the beach, go for a walk, visit a lovely waterfall, or a favorite place in nature where you feel at peace. Sit on the land and feel yourself completely grounded and centered. When you are grounded, you feel a deep connection to yourself and everything around you. Four of Cups. Boredom. Hitting a plateau in a relationship or at work, finding yourself in a situation in which you are beginning to feel listless and even stuck. You may be feeling disillusioned and flat as the expectations you once had don't materialize. You may feel the need for inspiration or direction and hope for positive change. Rather than wait for things to improve dramatically, you can make some small decision that lifts your mood so you can see where to go next. I listen to my heart and follow my knowing. Though alchemy is filled with a myriad of open-ended symbols, the raven's head has a precise message. It arrives to mark the beginning of the work. This card indicates something has occurred, known or unknown, to initiate the spinning of the alchemical wheel. With its mighty churning, things are about to change on every level. The raven's work cannot be undone, just as the pill cannot be unswallowed or the pearl turned back to sand. You may be overwhelmed or think the journey ahead is not for you. Your doubts matter not to the raven, as its appearance signifies it has chosen you. You are ready, and the moment is now. Can you go back to the way things were? Can you pretend nothing has changed? The raven caws a clear no. It does not apologize, as it knows your destiny is great. Gate 37. Peace. Challenges. To find inner peace as the true source of outer peace. To not let chaos and outer circumstances knock you off your center and disrupt your peace. Mastery. The ability to stay connected to sustainable peace and to respond to life by generating peace, no matter what is happening in your external reality. Creating the emotional alignment to make peaceful choices, no matter what's going on in the outer world. I am an agent of peace. My being aligned with peace creates an energy of contagious peace around me. I practice holding a peaceful frequency of energy, and I respond to the world with an intention of creating sustainable peace. This is a card of abundance and happiness, and is so often and fittingly called the wish card. What have you been wishing for? Allow yourself to experience how fulfilling this journey can be, and fill your life with all the laughter and bliss needed to spur you into the next phase of your happiness. Take stock of all the feels that are surfacing, and remember to practice gratitude for the manifestation of your dreams. The appearance of this card is an auspicious message of prosperity, harmony, and getting what you desire. What you have been working toward is coming to you, so enjoy life's pleasures and sink into the awe and wonder of a joyous heart. Take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure. You don't have to live epically and tackle everything on your bucket list to create a meaningful life. A good life is one that is aligned with your values and integrity. What do you stand for? What matters most to you? When do you feel the most alive and in joy? This is your invitation to actively participate in the creation of your beautiful, bold life. Take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure, for through your choices and perceptions, you create your reality. The decisions you make and the choices you align with create your life. The question becomes, what kind of life do you really want to live? You've drawn this card because there may be an imbalance in your thoughts. You may feel like a victim to the harassments of life, but this is a reminder that you are in control of your own reactions to all situations. Divine assignment. You are being called to see where you are still harboring negative, harmful emotions toward yourself or others, and release them with love. To be a victim in life, someone who feels life is happening to them, is a choice, and when you believe you have been wronged, you have no personal power. You are giving away your own control to outside forces. When you are in victim mentality, you blame, shame, and guilt others and yourself. As Paul Selig says, you can't be a victim and master at the same time. Step into a creator consciousness energy rather than a victim focus. The creator in you knows of your infinite power and trusts the greater intelligence of life. Everything you experience, pleasant or not, is part of your conscious co-creation because you participate in it by either resisting, accepting, or allowing it. Take full responsibility for your life as a beautiful, bold adventure, and dive into your journey by activating your authentic power. Surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough, according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. The symbol in this card is an enormous wheel representing time, fate, and karma. Galaxies spin around this constantly moving circle, and the 12 signs of the zodiac appear on its circumference. Just inside the circumference are the 8 trigrams of the I Ching, and even closer to the center are the 4 directions, each illuminated by the energy of lightning. The spinning triangle is at this moment pointed upward, toward the divine, and the Chinese symbol of yin and yang, male and female, creative and receptive, lies at the center. It has often been said that the only unchanging thing in the world is change itself. Life is continuously changing, evolving, dying, and being reborn. All opposites play a part in this vast circular pattern. If you cling to the edge of the wheel, you can get dizzy. Move toward the center of the cyclone and relax, knowing that this too will pass. In the words of Osho, life repeats itself mindlessly. Unless you become mindful, it will go on repeating like a wheel. That's why Buddhists call it the wheel of life and death, the wheel of time. It moves like a wheel. Birth is followed by death, death is followed by birth. Love is followed by hate, hate is followed by love. Success is followed by failure, failure is followed by success. Just see. If you can watch just for a few days, you will see a pattern emerging, a wheel pattern. One day, a fine morning, you are feeling so good and so happy, and another day, you are so dull, so dead, that you start thinking of committing suicide. And just the other day, you were so full of life, so blissful that you were feeling thankful to God that you were in a mood of deep gratefulness. And today there is great complaint, and you don't see the point why one should go on living. And it goes on, but you don't see the pattern. Once you do see the pattern, you can get out of it. In the courts of ancient Japan, the male attendants were often selected from the ranks of petty criminals who were castrated. Because of their intimate familiarity with the activities of the court, they were often at the center of the political and social intrigues and exercised a great deal of power behind the scenes. The two figures on this card remind us of the sleazy and conspiratorial situations we can get into when we compromise our own truth. It is one thing to meet another halfway, to understand a point of view different from our own, and work towards a harmony of the opposing forces. It is quite another to cave in and betray our own truth. If we look deeply into it, we usually find that we are trying to gain something, whether it is power or the approval of others. If you are tempted, beware. The rewards of this kind of compromise always leave a bitter taste in the mouth. In the words of Osho, don't be clever, otherwise you will remain the same. You will not change. Half techniques on the path of love and half techniques on the path of meditation will create much confusion in you. They will not help. But to ask for help is against the ego, so you try to compromise. This compromise will be more dangerous. It will confuse you more, because made out of confusion, it will create more confusion. So try to understand why you hanker for compromise. Sooner or later, you will be able to understand that compromise is not going to help. And compromise may be a way of not going in either direction, or it may be just a repression of your confusion. It will assert itself. Never repress anything. Be clear-cut about your situation. And if you are confused, remember that you are confused. This will be the first clear-cut thing about you, that you are confused. You have started on the journey. Six of Cups, gravitational lens, and distant galaxies. The Six of Cups represents the powerful pull of nostalgia, memories of a time when you were innocent and happy. Galaxies millions of light years away can appear closer through a phenomenon known as gravitational lensing. Large clusters of galaxies create huge gravitational fields which deflect the light from even more distant galaxies, rather like a glass lens. This has the effect of magnifying the very distant galaxies, making them visible when they would otherwise be too far away. The Six of Cups is the card of nostalgia. Looking back with affection and longing is a positive and happy process, but like the gravitational lens, our view of the past can be distorted, making it seem better than it really was. This is a good time to make peace with the past, as long as we don't become lost in romanticized dreams or fall prey to escapism as a way of avoiding the present. What you focus on is what you create, so put your attention on thoughts that are beautiful, worthwhile, and loving. It's time to focus your intent and your passion on one thing, rather than being scattered in different directions. Your soul wants you to know what you see around you is the result of what you focus on. When you direct your thoughts toward good, you attract positive experiences and people into your life. But when you focus on what isn't working, you create even more challenging situations. If you aren't pleased with the direction of your life, concentrate on what you desire, not on what you don't want. To develop inner power, gather your internal energy and focus intently on one thing. Being scattered in a myriad of directions dilutes your strength. Devote your attention to your career, your relationships, a hobby, or something that you're passionate about. Diminish activities that aren't essential to this goal, and it will be just a matter of time until miracles begin to occur. You are not alone, beautiful soul, although you have felt alone so many times. When this card comes to you, seeker, you know that there will soon be others who will join you, and together there will be festivities and creations, rituals that are joyous, and a sense of no longer being alone in a world where you once felt disowned. You move, and as you move, the world notices you. Your energy draws others closer to you, and they join you, attracted by the energy you radiate as you dance the truth of your existence. It is no one else's dance, and there are no laws to it, except that every step is a part of a story, and you are sharing with others, finally, more of who you are. There will be times when you are celebrated, when people remember what is important to you, when gifts are offered, and when friendship's hand is extended towards you. These are all coming towards you now, and all you need to do is allow yourself finally to be who you are amongst others. In this way, the people of your own soul tribe can find you, for they too have taken refuge in the forest of the Kitsune, and they are delighted that you too thought to hide there. And within the honest of revealing our soul's truth, others can know us, and what was once too raw to share becomes simply the most beautiful vulnerability, the truthful, simple kind, without drama, that allows others to see their kinship to you. This card marks the presence of 2 or more possible choices in your life. It shows you anxiously looking at 2 roads, wondering which would be the better choice. Yet you are standing still, feeling confused by the up and down emotions of your present indecision. You could spend days, months, or even years in this back and forth energy, all the while feeling your focus and your life force energy draining away. This indecision creates a paralysis of will, one that can keep you stuck while you're waiting to be certain about the results of your choice. It's time to let go of the analysis and self-doubt that have been keeping you stuck. Meditate on your options and see where your spirit guides you. Consider which direction resonates with you most, both in the process and in the goal. Follow your heart and make the honoring choice. If you feel like you've recently overcome this energy or are in the process of overcoming it, then congratulations. This indicates a newfound freedom from indecision. You have either recently made or are just about to make an important decision. This is an important time, so bring a clarity of consciousness to your new direction. The fragmented and confused energy that you've been sending out is gone, and now you can bring new structure to your plans and your life. You may not have known what to do in the past, but your soul has been trying to guide you all along. Open up to the potential of this time and create some clear and powerful intentions regarding your new choice. Then let yourself move forward with purpose and personal power. The wise woman of the grove steps forward and hands you an intricately carved wooden box. This is my gift to you. Guard it well. With care you open the box. Inside rests a perfect ruby. It sparkles in the light. This is a joy activator, she says. Hold it to your heart, and all around you, in all directions, all beings will relax and find joy in the moment. Joy is the great gift that you can give another. It is a gift of grace. When this card chooses you, you are at the advent of a remarkable time of ease, wisdom, healing, joy, and inspiration. Your ability to hear the voices of spirit is rapidly expanding. Spirit guardians are watching over you with immense love and kindness. Being in the state of grace means being blessed by divine forces. Grace can mean having enough inner nobility that even if you know your opinion is absolutely right, you don't push the point. You are willing to drop it, knowing that in the great scheme of things, it's not that important. Besides, the Creator knows the truth of the situation, even if others don't. There are times to be abruptly, starkly honest, but this isn't one of them. Be diplomatic and gracious in your interactions with others. Speak with love and kindness. The spirit of the wise woman of the grove says, you can relax and let go. Your path is guided. Spiritual nobility is growing within you. The spirit of grace is softly unfolding in your life. Kindly honor the truth of others, even if you don't agree or if you know better. The Creator knows the truth. With her peaceful cooing, the gentle dove spirit invites you to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You always have the power to generate peace within you, and the appearance of dove spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within as you embody tranquility. Above, below, and all around you, much may be happening to distract you, but you are called to engage it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Can you agree to disagree? The peace you seek rises within and spreads out into the world as Spirit sends her messenger to remind you of the beauty of a harmonious existence with all that is. How beautiful and powerful is your compassionate heart. If you feel like this energy has been challenged or blocked in your life, however disturbed the waters around you, however troubled your heart, Dove Spirit is there to remind you that peace without begins within, as you reconnect with Spirit through practices that awaken you from spiritual amnesia. Your true nature is as a peaceful child of Spirit, but how easily you forget. You're being invited to sit in the cozy, safe nest of Spirit. Soon the waters will become still and you will feel peace again. Be compassionate with yourself at this time, for all of us can forget that peace is always at hand, always there, gifted to us by Spirit. Become the peace you wish to see in the world so you can reduce any suffering, performing acts of kindness and radiating love. Dove Spirit also reminds you that when you see inequity or someone harmed or in need, trust that you have the capacity to bring peace through smiling, sending love, speaking a kind word, and listening with a compassionate heart. Do your part to be a peacemaker, nourishing compassion, reminding others of the joy of harmonious coexistence so that they may embrace the dove spirit within themselves too. Signs. There will always be signs to guide you on your true path. Decisions. It's your decision whether you keep this up or let it go, but continuing will not change the circumstances or the outcome. Unleash. Hold nothing back. Expand into the universe. Reflect. Peer into the endless ocean and see what peers back. Nature. Reconnect with nature. Feel the sun on your skin. Walk barefoot on the grass. Wise action. There is something you can do. Consult your heart to understand how to act with wisdom. Through prayer, thoughtful speech, forgiveness, or taking a step. Do what you can. Surrender all else. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust Him, and He will help you. Psalm 37:5. Love aims to do what is best for another person. Speak honestly. Tell the truth about your emotions. There is an opportunity to clear the air and create a positive outcome. Truthfulness is an important part of any relationship. If you are sharing something that isn't real, you aren't being straightforward. When you avoid the truth because you fear how it will be received, you create blocks or walls in your relationships. Work on speaking with clarity, love, softness, and honesty. To get to the truth and develop a stronger bond with your partner, be compassionate about their emotions. Try to be open to what they have to say and avoid personalizing their frankness. A woman faces a masked man who is presenting her with a rose. The mask suggests something is hidden or being glossed over, out of fear of upsetting each other. The woman's turned back could indicate an unwillingness to believe there is more going on than meets the eye. You are responsible for how you communicate with your partner. Be open and connected to create a healthy relationship. When we honestly believe things will work out, our faith will confidently see us through. The angels are with you, and divine support is something you can have complete faith in. Simple truths will give you the answers you are looking for. Love is an act of faith. It can be challenging to move forward when you aren't sure what the outcome will be. Stay present with whatever is in front of you right now. Your competence and ability may provide the calm and confidence you need to keep going. You may have doubts or fear when you take a step forward or make a decision, but faith gives you courage to continue. Even setbacks can impart valuable knowledge, experience, and positives. A fairy holds on to ribbons attached to a multitude of butterflies and is hoisted into the air. Butterflies usually signify a transformation is taking place. They can also be a symbol of your soul or the essence of who you are. Just as the fairy safely and confidently floats over the expansive landscape below, you will move calmly through the situation at hand. Remember, a little faith is all you need right now. The fruit of surrender is patient grace. I am grace. I am centered. I am clear in my mind. I expect the best. You are breaking apart. You might not understand it at all. There is not so much to be understood, but the simplicity doesn't mean it is easy to endure. You may worry that you are going too far, that you may not recover, or ever come back together again. But what can you do? Can you hold back from the divine love that calls you, that lures you to becoming all that you are, to remembering your divine nature? Well, you could try, but for what purpose? Temporary rest before the storm at best. So take the rest if you need it, then dive into the storm. Let yourself be broken-hearted by the divine, so that you can become your truth, become all that you are meant to be. It is better to have the heart broken so that it grows, than to be broken-hearted by thinking that you must protect yourself from love. This oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness or anger, despair or frustration you may feel, you are being pulled apart not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine, as it strips you of that which would keep you from your divine realization. Let go and break. It is going to be the making of you. Love. Love is a special closeness that sings from the heart, that warms my days and nights, that feels good, that makes me smile, that makes me glad to be alive. Cultural conditioning, in a healthy sense, is meant to give us guidelines by which we can operate as a functional society. Having boundaries for behavior enables us to relate to each other respectfully. We can contribute to society in ways that help us make a safe and supportive community possible, and so create a good quality of life for its members. A less conscious, sometimes even abusive version of that is when personal choice is eradicated, where there is no sense that questioning is even allowed, when obedience is demanded and individuality is not honored. The conditioning that is meant to assist in the development of healthy communities becomes regressive, infantilizing, and, if taken to heart, quite damaging to the self that wants to emerge and grow, which is what healthy beings do. Bringing conditioning to consciousness is the only way to confront it and become free enough to question it so we can choose for ourselves. If we don't even know we are responding to the world in a preconditioned way, or holding particular beliefs simply because that is what we were taught and reinforced to believe, then we may make the mistake of confusing our opinion with truth. This is what causes ego-based conflict, the most futile sort of conflict. This is not conflict that can be used to fuel healthy growth and evolution into a win-win resolution. It is conflict about who claims to be right and justified for even the most soul-destroying behavior at the expense of another. Without bringing our conditioning to consciousness, we lose the power to question everything, to be open, discern and decide for ourselves if there could be more to life than what we already think we know. Be willing to leave behind what you have known. It could be a place, a way of life, even something that you once held on to for a sense of identity and belonging. There is a bigger world calling you forth. Will you dare to answer that call and step into your destiny? Do you feel discontent with how things are? A persistent question in your mind? Why must that be as it is? Could it not be different? A curiosity and hunger for something more without even knowing what it is exactly that you are seeking. Trust this. It is an intuitive inner response to the call of your destiny. You are meant to go exploring. Are you wanting to break free from a circumstance or situation in your life? You are encouraged to take the adventure, to make the break and claim your freedom. If you ever feel ashamed, judged, or that the force of society or a group of people is trying to control you, telling you how you should be, rather than listening to yourself and accepting yourself as you are, remember that is their own fear and has nothing to do with your value. And then we have a healing process. Place one hand on your stomach, heart, or wherever feels right for you, and say this prayer aloud if possible. I call upon divine and spirit who love me without condition. I love myself and I commit to live as myself, true to myself, and to fulfill my soul journey this lifetime. I am so grateful to be who I am, divinely created for perfect purpose. Through your merciful presence, all scars heal, all unforgiveness melts away, and I am free from shame and doubt to live as me. I surrender all conditioning that would inhibit my personal and spiritual growth. Now, one layer at a time, with your help. I give myself unconditional permission to be me and to enjoy being me. I choose to set myself free. So be it. You have completed your healing process. If you have drawn this sigil, the thing preventing you from clearly seeing the reality of the situation at hand is your own fear. By its very nature, to fear is to push something or someone away from you. This is why fear is the number one most isolating experience on the planet. The more fearful we are, the more alone we are. It's important that we come to recognize what all our fears are about in order to both understand our reaction and choose how to respond to our fear. Fear can be defined as a response to a perceived threat. When we perceive something to be a danger to us, meaning that we perceive the possibility of suffering, harm, or injury on a physical, mental, or emotional level, then of course we naturally want to get away from it. Usually we want either to push it away, which would be fighting it, or we want to run away. Even if we grow up in loving environments, we inherit fear and the belief that we are not able to deal with certain things. We adopt feelings of powerlessness and inadequacy without questioning them, and we adopt the inevitable fear that comes as a result of it. Unfortunately, the primary ways that we cover up our fears are through avoidance and control. Interestingly, it doesn't matter whether the threat we are perceiving is really a threat to us or not. What matters is if we perceive it to be a threat. Unless we feel safe in a given situation or with a given person, we will naturally push that situation or that person away from us. People who spend their life avoiding the feeling of fear never really live. They wander through life in a routine and familiar way only to arrive at death safely. People who live their life in spite of fear don't listen to the important messages encoded in their fear. They ignore limits and warning signs and do not look after themselves. This ultimately leads to suffering and collapse. Our life depends on our capacity to lovingly take responsibility for our fear. Trying to conquer fear or get rid of fear is nothing more than trying to separate yourself from separation itself. Remember, the opposite of fear is love. Any love you can have toward anything diminishes your fear. But the ultimate answer to fear is to love the self within you that is afraid, and love the self within you that you are the most afraid of. It's by embracing fear itself that we dissolve fear. If you have drawn this sigil, the unacknowledged threat is not something you don't see about the situation itself or someone involved in it. It is your own tendency to sabotage a good thing because of fear. Right now, you are using the tool of worry and expecting the worst to prevent yourself from being blindsided. It is a way to try to control the situation, which is a way of avoiding your fear. Instead of avoiding your fear, you need to face it. Otherwise, your fear will continue to obscure your capacity to see the truth of this situation, which isn't a bad truth.